Peter Don Juan Rosado here with Headlocks Radio, and I'm sitting here with one of the fastest rising stars in independent wrestling and wrestling in general, Firebird Jorge
Santi.
It's great to have you on for an interview. I know we've tried before, and you've been a busy man.
Yeah.
And that's because you're doing a lot of shows. Yes. I mean, you're a busy man out here on the indie circuit. You know, how tiring does it get to so many shows? I mean, the love of the road, but...
I love the road, but yeah, it gets very tiring. But at the same time, you do it for the fans. You know, I was joking around on Facebook. I was listening to Lady Gaga's Applause. And I was like, that's a very motivational song. And it does describe most of the wrestlers that do travel and do what I like to do and love to do.
And, you know, I've seen it a lot on Facebook and on Twitter, hashtag Santi Skills.
That's right.
You know, I'm telling you, I got to learn some of these things from you because I've seen you in the ring. You're a great star in the ring. You're great out with the fans. The fans love you. The first match I ever saw you in, you teamed with Matt Taven against Mike Bennett and Chris Masters in a very, very hard-fought match. What is it like going up against guys who have been to levels that you're trying to get to and come back to the indies to give back?
Oh, it's very honorable. You know, like, all egos aside, wrestling Chris Masters was I learned so much, you know. But going into them and knowing that they have an attitude, you don't really like, oh, you know, like, why does he have to be a jerk for? Like, he used to be cool. You know, I grew up watching this guy, and then he's gonna hurt me in the ring. But then that's the competitive aspect when it comes to pro wrestling. Now, giving back, they give back so much. You know, I learned television-wise how to deal with myself in the ring, and that's basically probably stuff that I need to work on more when it comes to pro wrestling.
And I mean, I'd say if there's one thing that FWE has and it never fails to do, is it brings great wrestlers, old and young, new and upcoming wrestlers to a big environment. We look at today's card. You were originally scheduled to face Mike Bennett. And then things ended up having to change, and you're facing Rhett Titus tonight.
Contractual arrangements.
What's the difference in preparing for a guy like Mike Bennett and now Rhett Titus?
You know, I wrestled Mike Bennett a couple of times. Rhett Titus I wrestled in 2007. You know, I'm pretty old. But 2007 I wrestled him. I was a teenager, I believe. And we went in and we tore it down. So it's not like it's my first time going around with Rhett Titus. I know what he's all about. You know, he's addicted to love, but he's going to be addicted to a heartbreak once round one is over.
And now my thing is, if there's one thing I've said is if there's one guy in FWE, especially that's an FWE talent, not a guy from another promotion, that really deserves to make it big and I think is on the bubble to make it big, it's the Firebird Jorge Santi. What's next for Firebird Jorge Santi, whether it's FWE or somewhere else?
I aim for greatness no matter where I go. All right. What's next for me? Hopefully WWE, hopefully TNA, hopefully Ring of Honor. All three of those companies, doesn't matter where they are or where they stand right now, it's all good for publicity, and you need that.
So I expect, hopefully, if everything goes right, I want to see Mr. Jorge Santi down in Florida.
Yes, I do.
At that performance center that they just built, and I want to see him get on some television. Now, let me ask you one last thing here, Jorge, before we let you go.
Let's go.
FWE, biggest thing going right now in WWE. I honestly think they're the best New York-based promotion since ROH was heavily booked here in the New York City area. What is your take on the fact that this indie promotion is so big? And you look at the guys who are here today. I've seen Ted DiBiase walked in today. Trent Beretta's here today. Masters is here. Matt Morgan's here. What's your take on an indie fed that's not only doing things like this, but doing it in a well-organized manner?
FWE deserves to be in television. It's one of those things where you're going to see the hard times. It's like a band. You see them playing the grittiest of places, and then you watch them develop into Linkin Park, Foo Fighters, all those great bands that you see growing up. You know, you got Fozzy that was playing in the grittiest of places. Now the biggest band in Europe.
Yes.
So I see FWE going somewhere very far with this. You know, we do shows here every 7 months.
Yes.
But every 7 months it's sold out. Every 7 months it's a spectacle. Every 7 months you get the best talent ever.
And where can we follow Jorge Santi on Twitter and Facebook?
You click at _Santi and find me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/SuperSanti87.
Now let me tell you, when Super Santi 87, Jorge Firebird Santi makes it big, I'm telling you now, I'm signing up to be the first Jorge Santi guy. I wish you the best of luck, Jorge.
Just call me and I'll make sure you get interviews.
All right, sir. Good luck tonight against Rhett.
Thank you.